Welcome back to another reaction for Needy Girl Overdose episode 8.
今夜の頂点ちゃんどうだったかな
Excuse me? What are you doing there? This is, this is not going to net you any result cutting there. Just saying.
盛り上がってるね。じゃあそろそろお開きにしようか。お前らちゃんと風呂入ってから寝ろよ。頂点ちゃんのお宅が臭いとか噂になったらマジ許さねえからな。楽しいな。頂点
Is this the early days or?
素晴らしい。信者の盲目的な絶賛もアンチの低俗なバリ雑言も世界中が私に向けられている。こんな一人の女の子に中学校すらまともに通っていない底辺にみんな何も見えてない。逆しらの批評、誇張した感想、全員何も分かってない。私にはピがいるだけでいいはずなのに、誰にも見てもらえなかった私が世界中から承認されて期待されている。どんな役
This is part of the game. If you get close enough to Hey Angel, you can, I believe you can reduce some of her stress this way.
物よりも脳内麻薬が止まらない。最高の快楽だよ。
Huh. Interesting. So, she's having some fun. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, do what you want. It's your own four walls. I'm not gonna judge. This is again our streamer, yeah.
ずいぶんコレクションもたまったね。
ちょくちょく玩具レビューも上げてるからな。あれとか限定カラーを本編に出しちゃったからプレミアムになったんだぞ。思えばカラマーゾフも大きくなったものだな。
It has. If I remember correctly, you had like 400k or so at the beginning. At the beginning, all three of them together had like 1.3 or so million. Right? We had like 500, 400, 600, I believe. But now she alone has more. We also last time saw, I believe, Mrs. Prince at like 1.2k a million. So they're getting quite big. Still only like half the size of K-Angel, and she's also growing. But I would say you could see them as rivals now.
そうだね。この勢いならトップを取ってもおかしくないな。
当然このままいけば間違いなくカラマーゾフがこの国の頂点に立つ。ヒーローは必ず世代交代する。
天使様を地に落とす覚悟はできた？
どうした？ロリポップ様が輝きを放ちすぎて感化されたか？じゃあそろそろみんなの期待に応えて取りに行くか。配信社会の頂きを。インターネットエンジェルを名乗るロートルには打点してもらおう。天使狩りだ。
You shouldn't forget she really likes K-Angel. It is more or less the person she looks up to. Also, you are not even in striking distance still. You are like half the size of her. I would say you need like 70% to be able to say you are at striking distance.
と言っても向こうが怯えて逃げなければの話だけどな。
受けるよ。天使様は君の挑戦を必ず受ける。そういう魔法をかけてきた。
はあ？
私は夢は見せるけど嘘はつかない。高々に宣言してよ。 僕たちは小さな紫の女の子に全てをかける覚悟ができた。古き神を超えよう、私たちカラマーゾフが。
よし、猛毒電波少女パープルロリポップと他2名、今をときめく最強配信者グループカラマーゾフがいつまでも過去の栄光にあぐらをかいて、救済だとインターネットに居座り続けるアナクロに印状を渡してやる。毒は強ければ強いほど甘いんだ。いいじゃない。
I mean, I heard this before, I believe, but is it really that true?
インターネットのことでちゃんと
Now, I was wondering what was going on with Kashi, because it felt like she would be introduced as a fourth person in this group. But with the story, you don't really know. Because we got introduced to her life. We got introduced to the little girl that looks up to Lollipop. So, you don't know if a character is going to be important or not. Clearly, K-Angel, this streamer group, okay. But what about Kashi?
にも見せてあげましょうよ。
2 million. Nay, and beauty type influencer, 13k. Pretty sure you were under like 400 at the beginning. You grew quite a bit. And again, it's like, okay, the big problem is that she doesn't really fit in style-wise. We have like the prince, we have the goth girl, and we have like the lollipop girl. They're all pretty eccentric in their own way. She doesn't really have that. She's like the normal version, which could also be, could fit nice. Having like the normal person and then have like extremes in 3 directions. But it's nice to see that she's doing good. Maybe she's also just going to start a solo career.
あの商店ちゃんに宣戦布告をするんですか？
The name is so... OMG Kawaii Angel.
いつかはやらなければならないことだから必然。
ミチカも遠い存在になっちゃったな。
恐れることはない。時は満ちた。ただそれだけのこと。
お、指輪新しいやつですか？
そうだ、ネチカがプレゼントしてくれたんだ。こっちの逆十字はミチカからだ。よし、明日の夜バトル告知配信をやる。大きな会場も抑えよう。日にちはクリスマス、聖夜だ。会場と中継を合わせて膨大な数の観客が勝敗を判定する。時代の勝者が決まる。審判の瞬間だ。
How are we choosing between the crowd, venue, and everyone watching the stream? Okay, so the spectators will choose. Okay, I thought for a moment maybe they both stream and whoever has the most viewers is going to win, which they would instantly lose.
引っ込み思案の少年、ジョバンニがいました。
Who?
彼はあんまり生活がうまくいっておらず、
Who the fuck is Shioni?
次第に幸せについて考えるようになりました。彼は親友のカンパネルラと夜空の話をするのが大好きでした。ジョバンニは銀河のお祭りを見に行くため家を出たものの、意地悪な同級生たちにいじめられてしまいました。ジョバンニは町外れの丘でしょぼーんとしていると、銀河ステーションのまばゆいアナウンスが響き、目の前に夜空をかける銀河鉄道がやってきました。中にはカンパネルラも座っています。2人はいろんなことを話しました。その神秘的な光景に本当の神様の話もしました。次第に2人は自分たちのために 本当の幸いを探そうと誓いを立てました。ジョバンニは親友との誓いにとても喜びました。カンパネルラ、また僕たち二人きりになったね。どこまでも一緒に行こう。僕はもうあのサソリのように本当にみんなの幸いのためならば僕の体なんか100遍焼いても構わない。僕だってそうだ。けれども本当の幸いは一体何だろう。僕にはわからない。しかし銀河鉄道が終点に向かっていくとき、気づくとカンパネルラの体は消え始めていきます。カンパネルラ、カンパネルラ
By the way, what the fuck is going on again? Is she reading a story? First off, this is supposed to be a boy called Giovanni. Doesn't look that boyish, which is fine. Then we have a ghost friend on a galactic train. Sure. I'm guessing it's a story she is telling. Why? I don't know. Is it a parallel to someone, maybe?
残されたジョバンニは後に知りました。彼をいじめていた同級生が川に落ちたこと、そしてその子をカンパネルラが助けて行方不明になったことを。この話は第3次項までブルカニロ博士というキャラクターが登場し、ジョバンニの幸せと今後の生き方を教えてくれます。しかし現在、主に出版されている第4次項では博士の存在が抹消され、このように寂しい終わり方をします。
That seems bad, but okay.
なぜ宮沢
Oh, it's you.
賢治はあえてこのようなラストに書き直したのでしょうか。本当の幸いとは一体何なのでしょうか。終わり。
また会ったね。
何をしていたんですか？
何も。時間がちょっと余ったからメリーゴーランド眺めて。
It would be insane if she started supporting K-Angel.
るだけ。
素敵な時間ですね。幸せそう。
本当の幸いってこういう何気ない時間なのかもね。
宮沢賢治ですか？
そう、好きなの？
好きな配信者さんがおすすめしてて、朗読
Oh, is this Lollipop, right?
配信とかしてたから。
そっか。そっちはどうしてたの？
私は明日大事な発表することになって、それでそわそわしちゃって。
あんまり緊張しない方がいいよ。なるようになるから。
ゾワゾワしている今が一番幸せなのかもしれませんね。本番よりも。
正気と狂気、どちらが幸いなのかはわからないな。
さっき話した好きな配信者と似てる。姿っていうか魂の色みたいなものが。なんだか緊張が解けてきました。
好きな人がいるっていいね。私恋人はいるけど推しとかいないから。
でも今はその人もライバルなんです。詳しく言うと長くなるんですけど。
そのライバルには勝てるの？
勝ちますよ。私一人では微力だけど3人なら絶対。うわっ！
大丈夫だよ。ここ古いお店だからよくあることだし。
ちょっと先行き不安。
私という現象は仮定された有機交流伝統の一つの青い証明です。あらゆる透明な幽霊の複合体。
宮沢賢治。
綺麗だよね。夜空みたいで。
この時間は確かに幸いです。
アンドロメダの雲は、魚の口の形、大熊の足を北に
So this seems to be a song they both know. It also sounds like a song that is like a Shidrin song. And it sounds like they are describing stars. How you can maybe remember some of the stars.
したところそろそろ行かなきゃ。よければ名前教えてください。
雨
さん。
雨ちゃんでいいよ。あ、ピが呼んでるから私も帰らなきゃ。
いいな。アメちゃんの恋人さんもきっと素敵な人なんでしょうね。そうだよ。これ見て、ほら。
Instant change. Instant. Her voice, her demeanor, her mood, everything changed. Holy shit.
この前二人で海に行った時の写真なんだけど。で、ミチカが見た面白い夢。
Okay. Oh damn. So she saw a picture of her on the beach with a boyfriend. I guess as K Angel? Maybe that is why it changed, or why she changed. Or maybe she saw a different picture of her.
で、どんな内容だったんだ？そうね。魔法の王国が舞台で、私は類まれなる洞察力を持つ探偵という役どころ。今回の事件は王女様からの依頼で、宮廷道化師を狙った暗殺未遂犯の黒幕を見つけること。それで私は投獄されている暗殺者に面会したの。私は鋭い推理力で突き止めたわ。犯人は王室の清掃係だと。けれどここで予想もしないことが起きたの。その暗殺者は洗脳されていて、間違った名前を口にしていた。でもそうではなく、彼は洗脳されていなくて、やはり清掃係が指示を出していた。しかし清掃係もまた誰か他の人間に操られていたの。そして私は再び真実の深淵を覗き込み、ついに真の守護者を見つけたわ。それは王女様自身だったの。彼女は4歳の時にチェッカーで自分で興味で遊んだと嘘に入らなかった。ナチュラルにしようとしたのよ。事件解決。
Yeah.
犯人の王女様がミチカに捜査を依頼したってこと？
なんて間抜けでバカな王女様なんだ。
True.
それなりにやってきた。専門学校もそれなりにこなしているし、きっと卒業後。
Okay, we are back to Cash. Also, I didn't mind that art style. I feel like this could work well for like a short anime where you have like 5-minute episodes.
はどこかそれなりのサロンで修行して、自撮りと合わせながらそれなりのネイルデザインを投稿して、それなりにフォロワー数も人気も増えて、それなりのちょっといい感じのネイリストにはなれるだろう。彼氏は今はいなくなったけど。
Don't call him boyfriend. That is not, don't replace the idea of a boyfriend with this guy. Future guys are hopefully going to treat you a lot better than that.
きっとまた素敵な人と出会って恋に落ちる。それなりに燃えて、それなりに刺激的な恋愛もできる。これからもたくさんのイベントが待っている。でもこの人たちからすればこぼれ落ちた砂のひとかけらでしかない。
そのネックレス超可愛いよね。
ああ、これロリポップさんにもらったの。
これはすの？そっか、ミチカちゃんと友達なんだっけ？
うん、一応俺にピアス買ってみた安物だけど。
いいねいいね、絶対喜ぶよ。こういうのは値段じゃないからね。
うんごめん、ちょっと具合悪くなってきたかも。
大丈夫？家まで送ろうか？
うん、大丈夫。ほんとごめんね。
俺らなんかしちゃった。
わかんない。
I don't know. Maybe she felt it was too superficial. She didn't like that. I also feel like the earrings are, I feel like Lollipop is going to tell her those are sheep earrings.
姉ちゃんすごい。完全に有名人だね。
喧嘩を売る相手がヤバすぎるけど、
姉ちゃんなら大丈夫。
姉ちゃん頂点ちゃんに勝つの？
Oh yeah. I was like, who are these guys? Yeah, yeah, they're her brothers.
そうだな、勝つよ。
Totally.
お前らだってだいぶサッカー気合い入れてんだろ。当たり前じゃん。俺たち学校でトップだから。いいじゃん、自慢の弟たちだよ。
でも学校内だよ。姉ちゃんは世界じゃん。
分かってねえな。学校で一番くらいが一番幸せなんだよ。ね、リーダー。緊張してる？
してない。
Right, so can we see what she saw? What made her react this way? Did she see her K-Angel as K-Angel? Or did she see maybe a different picture?
とはいえ少し落ち着かんな。ちょっと夜風に当たるか。
私もちょっぴり散歩してこようかな。こんな時くらいお友達に頼ってみたら。ミチカは私たちと違って素敵な親友に恵まれたんだからさ。
But it's nice to see that everyone has steel nerves. They are all unshakable. No problems at all. No clue what these are. What is going on? Does she have an anxiety attack? Is she panicking? Is this the nerves finally breaking down? Sadly I don't really I don't have much experience with medication, so I have no idea what a pink pill could be. Could be an antidepressant, could be something. I mean, she has a bunch of those. Could also be just pain medication. Could be morphine for all I know. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure you are not supposed to take what? Like 10? I feel like there's no medication where you are like, yeah, you know, the pre-measured little pills that we have, you know, so what is essentially a dose. Yeah, just take 10. Yeah, we measured them, so you can take 10. Why? Because why not? Now you're wasting them. It is also very interesting to see the dichotomy. The dichotomy. I should probably search stuff before I'm just saying random words I heard. Dichotomy is like duality, right? Dichotomy is a division of a single concept, whole, or group into two completely opposed, mutually exclusive, and jointly exhaustive parts. Sure. Because she is normally a very, it feels like nothing gets to her. She's very steadfast. She's following what she believes in. She's portraying this person that knows exactly how they want to be showcased. But behind the scenes, she does not seem to be doing well. There seems to be a problem. Again, the duality of that situation is interesting to see, because we didn't see that before. So the question is now, can Kashi help or not? Because that is what Miss Prince did say.
いつかごめんこの時に全然用事とかないんだけど友達として応援してみたくて。もしもし聞こえてる？ 大丈夫？迷惑だったかな。私に友人なんか必要ない。勘違いしないで。
What was that sound?
なんか必要ない。勘違いしないで。そうだよね。やっぱり私なんかと住む世界違うよね。
What are you saying? You clearly hear that there's something going on, right? And especially with her character, I feel like this is something she would say face to face instead of over the phone. But she's clearly breathing heavy. The question is why. So something is going on, and I would not necessarily take it as. Generally, if you have like a conversation like this, only take it as half truths. You know, check in maybe an hour later or maybe a day later, see if they are still sticking to that response, and then you know, okay, it's true. Because in the heat of the moment, especially in the heat of the moment, which she does not know, because she has no idea that she is going through some shit. But in the heat of the moment, a lot of things are being said, a lot of things are being spoken that are not necessarily meant that way. Additionally, you never know how you perceive specific things.
三川は昔からかっこいいよ、本当に。うるさい。ごめんね。やっぱりそうだよね。私は窓ガラスの向こうに行けない側だから。うるさいって言ってるでしょ。うるさい、うるさい、うるさい、うるさい。
Again, she does not sound like a person that has control over herself right now. It also does not sound like she's speaking to you specifically. It is more a shout into the void.
カラマーナの兄弟、信仰の薄い貴婦人。三兄弟の物語の端で。なんかむちゃくちゃ真面目で話がクソ長い長老のもとへいろんな人が集まります。長老は狭い愛情と広い信仰心に悩む貴婦人へ語ります。人類全体を愛するようになればなるほど個々の人間、つまり一人一人の個人に対する愛情が薄れていく。重役、誰かが近くに来ただけでその人の個性が私の自尊心を圧迫し、私の自由を束縛してしまうのだ。私は一昼夜のうちに立派な人を憎むようにさえなりかねない。ある人は食卓でいつまでも食べているからという理由で、別の人は風邪をひいていてのれつ鼻をかむという理由だけで私は憎みかねないのだ。私は人がほんのちょっとでも接触するだけでその人たちの敵になってしまうだろう。その代わりいつも個々の人を憎めば憎むほど人類全体に対する私の愛はますます熱烈になっていくのだ。なんと深い話でしょう。あまりに長く強烈な小説だから全然紹介しきれてないから続きは自分で読んでね。おしまい。人は守るべきものがあればあるほど弱くなる。温かいつながりを築けば築くほどにブレーキがかかる。みんな崖に落ちるのが怖いから加速し続けるスピードに怯えて人間関係に逃げ始める。
私には何もない。私だけが真に自由がある。無限の人間関係で縛られた蜘蛛の巣に引っかかった監視社会の犠牲者たちを救済する覚悟と資格がある。迷える子羊たちを導くため私は自由でなければならない。
Lots of stuff being said, lots of stuff being shown. So Cage is of the opinion the less you have, the more free you are, which I can see somewhat, because every connection to another person means that you have more responsibilities. You probably know that if you have friends, you need to, theoretically, you should try to message them every now and then, talk to them every now and then to keep that connection going. If you don't do that, the connection is most likely going to fizzle out and you are losing that connection. However, you also then don't have to try and keep in contact anymore. So you have like a little bit of a responsibility for a simple connection. The closer they are, the bigger the stuff you need to do to keep that connection going. Like a child, there's a lot of stuff you need to do for a child. For a wife or a girlfriend, or generally a significant other, a lot of stuff you need to do, someone who lives with you. So I can see that you are less free the more connections you build. But I feel like the offset of the connection, the value of the connection is going to offset the price. But I can at least see that somewhat. Also interesting that Michika, I believe it was, our goth, the lolly, whatever, that it seems like she only blew up because she was not taking her medicine. I don't know what the medicine really does. Maybe it calms down her nerves. It gives her more of a more of patience. Because what she was talking about, I can somewhat understand. Now, she was talking about that she can be friends with you, you could be a good friend, and you do something a little bit that goes against her or that gets on her nerves, and she instantly doesn't like you anymore. Now, I don't have that experience, but, you know, as someone who is fed their whole life, I'm very thoughtful of how much space I use. I try to always make myself as small as possible because I take so much space. However, doing that and trying always to look around and pay attention to that, you see that other people don't do that. Now, this is normally no problem, but you see that really specifically in some cases where someone who is not the size of me, a normal sized person, is able to take the space of 3 people because they don't give a fuck. They do not care at all. So that not even me or someone else can get, around them. So you have to talk to them, be like, can I please go? Could you please make a little bit of space? Which does get on my nerves quite a bit. I mean, I saw that like recently on a bus, little side note, side tangent, as always. I was just sitting down, minding my own business. People were at the door of the bus, and I could see that the person could have just moved 3 meters or like a couple feet to the side. There was a whole array of space where you could stand, but no, they needed to stand right there. No one can get through them because the walkway is only big enough for one person normally. And they would just block the extra space. There was free space where like 6 people could have stood, no problem. No, they all had to stand in front of the door. They were like sardines in there, which is just does get on my nerves real badly.
そのトリコロールは何より強固なものだろう。
けれど神は一人でその3つを備え、そして超えている。信仰が神を強くする。人々は救いを求めて神を信仰する。
神は人々を救うため常に兄弟であり続ける。
神は永久に孤独であり続ける。
Which is interesting because you see yourself as God, right? But you do have P-Shan, so... Also, you do have a second personality. Would you not need to get rid of them? At least P-Shan, right? The manager, you need to get rid of your boyfriend.
Michika! 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 大事な配信前にミチカはどうした見つかったか
いやちょっと危惧してたんだけどまさかね。
手がかりはないのか
カチェちゃんにも聞いてみたけど向こうも通話切られちゃったって。おレスが来た。
ミチカか
カチェちゃんから
なんて
グッドタイミング。ミチカの居場所が分かったよ。ちょっと行ってくるわ。
If I had to guess school, right?
おいネチカまでいなくなったら一人になっちゃうだろ
大事な告知の時に一人だけ欠けてる方が不自然だろ。いっそリーダーだけの方が演出だって思われるって。頑張れヒーロー。
口の回るやつお前ら聖なる夜に武道館へ集まれ。今度はトークショーなんかじゃないライブバトルだ。天使とカラマーゾフで本気のライブをやる。会場のみんなと視聴者が投票で勝者を決めるんだ。見てろ時代が変わる瞬間を。お前らが革命を起こす。まさか窓ガラス割るのが衝動じゃなくて特技だったとはね。夢見がちロリータは永遠の思春期か。別に月を眺めるのに邪魔だっただけ。髪の毛プリンの一般人には永久にわからないことでしょうけど。ミチカカチェ
Really? This is where we end.
とにかく楽しみにしてろよな。あいつら私だけで配信させやがってめっちゃ怖かったんだぞ。
Ooh, okay. No preview. Holy crap. I mean, it's always hard with the show because I like the show. It has some topics that I feel like are worth talking about. I do like that the show is just doesn't care too much about what they show. I mean, we had similar to the game. The game was similar. Here we have like drug use. We have sexuality. I mean, we saw at the beginning Kay Angel being in her underwear, and the show's like, yeah, deal with it. I mean, it's the normal thing to do. Now she was also having some fun thinking about people seeing her as some higher being or whatever in her position. But still, it's like, yeah, that is how this is. We saw Kashi again. She is doing well, which is good. We see that Romanov are getting more and more subs together, which is also good. They are getting closer to K Angel. I still feel like they are a little bit too early to try and fight her for the throne, which is funny to say because they're like, yeah, 10 million subs. We are fighting for the throne. Meanwhile, PewDiePie is like laughing in 100 million subs, or Mr. Beast with his like 500 million. But fair enough, it's in this universe. And there are some aspects which I do agree. But I don't know. I'm not smart enough to understand if the stuff that is being said is deep or not. You know? I'm just a normal guy. I did not even go to university or some bullshit, so I am below average in my education. So I can only tell you what I think about it, and I do feel there are some good points being raised. Now they are also shown in a somewhat subjective manner. The whole connection thing, which, yes, you are less free per connection you make. However, you do get something else of the connection that you normally would not get. So the cost of the connection is offset by the benefit. You know, a new person, new viewpoint, someone you can talk to, someone you can do stuff with. There are a lot of benefits of connections. There are some connections that are not only having a cost, they also are poisonous. So that is also something you need to be careful of. There are far too many people that are not good to be around. I would classify myself as one of those. At least sometimes. So you do need to be careful of those people. At least keep them a little bit further away, unless you know how to deal with that.